Hey, what's up everyone? Vesper here. Got another patch note breakdown video for you guys, and this is another exciting one. We're going to break down Kage, who is one of the most buffed characters this season, and the list of buffs are extensive. So let's start this right away. The very first change is Standing Medium Punch. Kage's Standing Medium Punch is now +1 on block rather than -1. This helps in a couple of ways. First, the obvious, this is going to allow better pressure in general for Kage since he doesn't lose his turn exactly when he's getting close to this button. The second thing it's going to help with is that now it makes his block strings really airtight when he's canceling this into certain special moves. There's certain times where he's doing Standing Medium Punch, and since he was -1 before, if he cancels it into a special and block, the opponent might be able to squeeze out a reversal or something projectile invincible in between and hit you. So let me show you guys a quick example here. I have Chun-Li set to doing EX spinning bird kick as soon as she can. And you can see if I do my normal fireball, it's airtight. Light red fireball, it's airtight. And even medium stomp or light stomp kick is airtight. Another top secret change that could possibly be a bug is that Kage can now do Standing Medium Punch into heavy TATSU. My Kage buddies have informed me about this secret tech, and now he can do some certain strings like Crouching Medium Punch, Standing Medium Punch, Heavy Tatsu, for example, and it's just another route in his combos. And finally, Capcom has added 3 more frames of recovery on a Standing Medium Punch, so don't just start throwing this out like crazy. Honestly though, it seems like this change was intentional, because players are going to be buffering this now a lot into Heavy Tatsu in neutral. So adding 3 frames of recovery on it makes sense. Alright, moving on, the next normal buff for Kage is Standing Heavy Punch. It's now +1 on hit rather than -3. So by itself this doesn't mean much, but on counter hit this opens up a lot of opportunities. So the first thing you get from a counter hit is you can link a light uppercut. You can also link an EX uppercut. If you hit the opponent crouching with a counter hit, then you can link the crouching light punch with a really cool confirm. The counter hit also leads into heavy kick stomp, which is really cool because normally you'd have to use crouching heavy punch. So it's really rewarding if you land this counter hit. Finally, a counter hit also leads into the heavy version of his red fireball. So basically, Capcom wanted to give more rewards for using this button rather than just for combos. Next up, Standing Light Kick. It now hits further, allowing Kage to do 3-hit light confirms. You can even use cross-up Tatsu for this. And it feels like they bumped every single normal for Kage. So this one is Standing Medium Kick. So what they did with this is they made it start 1 frame faster, it hits further, and they also raised the hurt box. So this is one of Kage's main pokes, so Capcom is simply just making it better. The faster speed is going to help it not get stuffed by other characters' far normals, and also the extended range is going to help him keep at a safe distance as well. On top of that, they raised the hurt box, meaning that the opponent does something like a low attack, this will stuff it because now it's safer from lows. So let me show you guys what I mean. She's doing a crouching medium kick, and you can see it just outright beats it. This also helps him confirm into Demon from Standing Medium Kick because it's such an easy confirm. That combo. Alright, the next normal buff is Standing Heavy Kick. This simply makes the crush counter version give more V gauge. Look at the bottom left of the screen. It gives about half of 1 bar, so it's 150 V gauge rather than 120, so it's more rewarding. Moving on, Crouching Medium Kick. It now starts up 1 frame faster, meaning it's a 6 frame startup. So now you can combo this after Crouching Medium Punch. It now links. This gives Kage a crazy hit confirm on crouchers because now he can do 3 mediums. Really sick. Alright, so the final normal being buffed is Forward Hard Punch. This also now starts 1 frame faster, it can cancel into super, and now it's hard to whiff punish. So now both Kage's Forward Hard Punch and Standing Medium Kick now start up in 8 frames, making it a lot better. And not just as a neutral tool, you can also link it after a counter hit Crouching Medium Punch, allowing you to go in the target combo, and you're going to be in your opponent's face with Crouching Medium Punch a lot, so it's an easy confirm. Like I said, you can cancel it into super now, which is really good. You're going to be getting counter hits with this a lot in neutral, so this makes it for a really easy one-hit confirm. Also, they made it slightly harder to whiff punish since the hurt box now vanishes 1 frame faster. Alright, next change is Kage's target combos, forward hard punch, standing heavy kick. It now knocks the opponent slightly higher, they're a little bit more floaty. The first thing I can think of is this gives more Oki. This allows you to juggle after as well into like a light DP. Which could be useful since you can go into super from this, and you'll also get the non-animation super version, which could be beneficial, which we'll go over very soon here. Alright, next change, Kage's fireballs. All versions got a different change here. So first, his light version of his fireball is a lot faster. It starts up 3 frames faster. So this will really be really good for pressure. The medium fireball now goes further. And it's not actually the fireball that's going further, it's Kage. He's leaning forward with it. And the heavy punch fireball now starts up 3 frames slower, but goes the furthest. So let me show you quickly one more time. This is the light, the medium, and the heavy. But here's where it gets crazy. Kage's heavy punch fireball now almost goes full screen when in V-Trigger 2. And notice it doesn't drain your V-gauge. You can just keep throwing it out. You can also notice he still lunges forward just like it did without the V-Trigger. If you guys are curious, it starts up 2 frames faster than his light red fireball. This means during V-Trigger 2, Kage can be a temporary zoner on the ground and play it just like Ryu, which is really scary if you think about the rest of his close range moveset. Now keep in mind that Capcom added a hurt box behind Kage when he does his medium punch fireball or his heavy punch fireball, the normal and V-Trigger version. So this just means that it's easier to get crossed up if the opponent happens to guess right and jump behind you and hit you in the back. Just because Kage now moves forward, they want to keep it in line with the old fireballs when he didn't move forward. Lastly, I should mention when your V-Trigger 2 is up, if you don't want to lunge forward, like I said, just use the light red fireball because Kage maintains his ground. Alright, the next buff is Kage's EX Fireball. It now crumples the opponent on the ground for 5 frames rather than 3. So pretty much it just means you're plus 5. The only thing I can think about this one is now you can link a crouching medium punch afterwards. So you can do something like this. Because normally you have to do a dash forward heavy kick TATSU. In the corner you can squeeze in a crouching medium kick. Okay, now Kage's air fireballs have been buffed. They now detonate and cause an explosion at the ending, kind of like Akuma's normal fireballs on the ground. What this does is it allows Kage to be able to hit the opponent while they're standing, and even Abigail while he's crouching. This is really good because now you have your, further fireball option, and you don't have to just use it for your opponents that are, pre-jumping, for example, or using gimmicks. Alright, Kage's light uppercut. Really simple change. They made it do 20 more damage. Which is really good when we talk about his super change. Also, on top of that, they extended the hitbox forward from the 4th frame onward. This pretty much just means it's easier to juggle into and land that super. Especially if he's far away, like this. Now, the heavy punch uppercut also does 20 more damage, which is really good. And on top of that, you're now able to cancel the super after the 2nd hit. And it goes into full animation. So this is a really good damage boost. It's kind of like Ken. His uppercut. On top of that, they made it 1 frame faster on Strike Invincible and Projectile Invincible. Just gives you more time of a window to use it against projectiles or attacks. Finally, in the patch notes, it says for the uppercut, extended time at which the move can be cancelled with V-Trigger 2 Ashura Senku by 1 frame. So this is a typo. It says V-Trigger 2, yet Ashura Senku is the teleport move in V-Trigger 1. So I don't know if it means that or the V-Trigger 2 finisher. Either way, it's just a leniency for combos. Okay, next change, Kage's Stomps. What they did is they reduced the foot hurt box before startup. What this means is that it goes over lows, it crushes them, just like his standing medium kick, so it's really good for using in neutral when the opponent is pressing a lot of lows. So I'll show an example of this. You can see it goes right over it. Alright, the next change now, when Kage is in V-Trigger 2, his heavy kick stomp is now +6 on hit and +4 on block. So this actually means a lot of things. First off, after the heavy kick stomp, you can now link a standing heavy punch. You can also link a crouching medium kick after it. So if you do a heavy axe kick really far away, that can really help too. If you get really lucky and land a counter hit with this thing, it's +8, which means you can loop back into a crouching heavy punch and another heavy axe kick. Look at that damage. The heavy kick version being +4 on block is pretty straightforward. It just allows better pressure and for you to take your turn with even better, slower normals. And you also have the threat of your Raging Demon as well. Alright, Kage TATSU buffs now. Let's start with the light kick version. It says mid-air knockback now matches that of a grounded hit. What I think this means is that when you knock the opponent up from the ground, it's the same if you hit him in the air. Same amount of time. So if I juggle to the light TATSU, I have enough time to do a heavy uppercut, for example, which we'll see when we do the super combos here at the end. Okay, next change. Medium kick TATSU specifically, it now starts up 3 frames faster. This makes it an incredible one-hit confirm from his crouching medium kick. If you see the opponent get hit by this, you can now easily cancel into this an uppercut. The hit confirm window seems really huge, it seems really easy. So basically they turn Kage into Kage. Next change, EX TATSU, they extended the hitbox upwards. I think all this means is just they added more combo consistency, especially if you're using like V-Skill 1 V-Trigger, for example, you're doing those big flashy combos. Okay, back to V-Trigger 2 again. Kage's V-Trigger 2 finisher now has a minimal guaranteed scaling, and now do a minimum 30% damage, meaning that it scales a lot better for Kage's really long combos, and you can cash out and get more rewarding damage. There's a lot of scaling here, but it still does a good chunk of damage, plus you get ulti with it. I wish more characters got this change, to be honest. Another thing they did with the finisher is they made it cancel really fast from his stomps. So if you want to do the EX overhead, for example, you can combo right into the V-Trigger 2 for a lot of damage for an overhead. You can also do stuff like this. Or something like this. And now for the last change, I can finally talk about it. Kage can combo after the non-animation of his super. So they finally transformed him fully into Akuma now. The easiest way to get to the non-animation of his super is to combo it from a light uppercut. So this gives him some cool extra damage. You can do a heavy uppercut after. You can do a light TATSU after as well. And of course this works really well with V-Trigger 2, because now he has the added finisher with less scaling. Woo! And that's it, guys. Damn, that felt like it took forever. That was a lot of buffs, a lot of patch notes, man. So Kage pretty much got the Ryu treatment from last season, where they buffed pretty much everything, almost all of his buttons, his specials. They greatly buffed up V-Trigger 2. They gave him zoning. They gave him everything. Kage is definitely moving up this season. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about these changes for Kage. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and of course hit that like button, guys. Help me out. If you guys want to keep posted on our next video, we'll be breaking down the other characters' patches. So, till next time, guys, Vesper out. Peace.